It's Kimberly with Knit for Brains. Welcome to this week's crafting corner with me. I'm very glad that you're here. Oh, there's already somebody here. Hello. You guys, I'm very excited about this week. First of all, I'm excited that it just started. I decided to stop fighting the man and decided that if this is the way I'm supposed to be seen in a vertical way, then that's the way it's supposed to be. But we're on and we're on time. So yay, welcome. Hope you have a cup of your favorite. This is just coffee this morning. I finished my friendship tea. I'm really bummed. My friendship tea is gone. So I'm going to see my friend tomorrow and I'll be like, can you make me some more of that friendship tea? Because that was really, really good stuff. Make sure my volume is up. I think it is. Yeah, we're good. All right, baby. You guys, my brain is a buzzing. I have so many exciting things that I've been thinking about and going through, and I got things to show you, and I'm just excited. So pop on, let me know that you're here. Drop me a comment in the box. Let me know what you're working on. Hopefully I got some good inspirations for you for other stuff we can do. First of all, I will show you what I'm working on, and then I'm going to continue because this has been the never-ending sweater. Remember that movie from the 80s, The Never-Ending Story? Oh, I just realized that's like a whole alliteration. This is the never-ending sweater, but it's getting there. I was able to attach the sleeves. And it's looking like, so that's the thing. All the things. I know it looks a little long or a little short, but we're working on it. So the sleeves are now attached, as you can see. La la la. And I'm just kind of trying to finish up the top here. It's actually okay. I was afraid it was going to get weird with the stripes to that, but I'm cool with it. I think I told you before I was concerned because this was shorter, so these stripes were going to be a lot wider, and this was going to be a lot different, but it is what it is. It's artistic. It's the thing. It's all the things, and it is the never-ending sweater, but I am determined to finish it because today's Tuesday. So in 2 days, we leave to go to Switzerland. Now, will I be able to finish this? Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I will be. So I've been working like a fiend on this, and I'm going to finish this, even though it's National Crochet Month. Good morning, Renee. Finishing up socks today. Did some project management this morning to be organized. Good for you, Renee. Unraveled knitting. I love it. Thank you. Welcome. So yeah, I kind of feel, we had our spring, we sprung forward. I think it was like Saturday night. And it's kind of spring, and I'm feeling like we need to kind of clear out the cobwebs a little bit. And I want to have not like this isn't just fun to hang out, because it is, and we could do this, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to have like a project, something that we can kind of all do maybe together on these. So I have an idea. So you just have to hang in there and listen and watch, because I think you'll really dig it. Anyways, so I'm working on this. I'm gonna continue working on this, even though it's National Crochet Month and this is a knitted sweater. I got to finish it. I'm all about finishing it. The other thing, and I was really excited, and I talked to you guys about this before, I got the thing. This is my second set, and I have a feeling now the Brit isn't watching, so I can, even though he doesn't care, he really doesn't care. But these are the dot crochet hooks from We Crochet. And being that it was, hello, Arrow Lover. Nice to see you. Being in this National Crochet Month, these babies were on sale for 20% off last week, and they came really fast. I was shocked at how fast they came. Usually it can take like a week or more, but this came less than a week from when I placed the order. It's $29.99 for the hooks, if you get the set of hooks, which is a steal considering I've paid $26, $28 for like a Furls crochet hook, or even the Fires were coming in at over $20. So Deidre, happy Tuesday. Hello, guys. Yes. So we're talking about the We Crochet dot hooks. These are kind of like my go-to budget-friendly kind of travel with hooks, and I'm going to show you why. But it's $29.99 for the set. I'm going to open this in a second. And if you get the hook holder, it's $34.95. So you get this for like an additional $5. But if you buy this separately, it was like $11 or $12. So hello, it's a no-brainer to get these together. But I love the carrying case. So I figured I have one over there on my table where I do my videos. And then I have one here, which has now become my fun workstation since I've been hanging out with you guys too. So it kind of sits like this. These are the hooks. These are just great, budget friendly. I like the dots. They're whimsical. You know, I get dots. That makes me happy. But I think honestly, these are just as good as like the tulip Etimo hooks. I love them. And I started with those, slightly more expensive. Oops, hold on, this just fell out. But they come and they're all color coded with these fun little dots all over them. Aren't they cute? So I'll tell you what we have in here. See if I can do smallest to largest. So, and it just fits in here. So we got this guy. Oh, thank you. I'll talk about my top in a second. This is crochet, by the way. So they sit in here. This is a 2.5 and they just go pink. There's like these little, it's all silicone. And you just go pink and you just stick it right in there. I love it. All right, that's a 2.0. The next one is a 2.5. Yes, 2.5. Pink, just like that. The next one's going to be probably a 3.0. Yep, there it is. Here's a 3.0. If you know your colors, aren't they pretty? I just love these. All right, next is going to be, I think, a 3.5, which is this guy. So it's not like a super, super, intense set where you got like all the big sizes, but this is a great starter set. It's just a great place to, to kind of get yourself going. This is a 4.0. So was that a 3.5, right? So they go up about the half sizes. So you're not going to get like the 2.75 or the 3.25. You're going like the 3.5, the 4.0 and so forth. So that was a 4. Then we're going to get the 4.5, which is this pretty one here. And they kind of, like the colors graduate up. Then we're going to get let's see here, the 5.0, boom, 5.5, boom, and the 6.0. Isn't it pretty? I was so excited to open this and then show you guys. I know, right? All the little hearts and the celebrations are going off. I love it. Isn't it pretty? So sit right here, $29.95, We Crochet. I'll include the link. I love these guys. This is my second set of these. And then they have some others that are just solid, bright colors. I don't know. I like the dots. They make me happy. And to see them, I'm a little, I have the tendency to be a little on the anal side with things. To see them all organized like this makes me very happy. And I just set it right here on my little table. So you guys can see my little table's right there. See my little area. And I'll just give you a little tour. There's some yarn up there. And there's my amigurumi. And it kind of goes over there. And like that. And then hello, here we are again. All right. So that's what's sitting over there. Nice little table. Set to go. So I just wanted to show you those guys. If you haven't seen these before, Jesus is the only way. Well, hello. Wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining us. Let me just fix this slightly. Okay. So this top, thank you for noticing. This is a crochet top. It's a Noro yarn. I made this top on one of our cruises. It was so easy. It's crocheted and it's granny squares using a back loop only. If you guys can see that. Yeah. It's super, super pretty. Yeah. And it's a lot of back loop only. So you get these really cool kind of ridges and things. I'll include the pattern if you're interested. I think I bought the pattern from like Little Knits or something like that. And this is the Noro yarn, which I love Noro yarn. But as I've said before, because it's raw, and it's usually like a silk or a cotton or a wool or something that's like unfinished, it can tend to kind of stick to itself. And I remember this one did that. I was like, oh, girl. But it's really pretty. So I'm wearing it in honor of National Crochet Month. And today, after I finish this, the Brit and I are going on a date. Sort of a date, because we date. We go on dates a lot, actually. Yeah, okay, so the pattern is a Noro yarn pattern. I will include it in a post. And it's like a, I don't know, here, I'll try to see if I can, it's just kind of like a top. Oh, there you can really see the squares. See? And then it's got these fun sleeves, and it's just 4 squares, 1, 2, and then there's the back, and then just a big, like a shawl collar kind of a thing. It was very simple to put together. Very, very simple. 4 squares, and then the sleeves. That was it. I did it in a couple of days. So thank you. I like it a lot. And I made it a couple years ago, but I'll include the link and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. So National Crochet Month. We're going on a date. Let me finish that part. So the Brit and I are going on a date. And here in San Diego, we have a place called, I'll keep working here, Balboa Park. So if you've ever been to San Diego, it is one of the big places to go and see. Oops, just dropped my stitch holder. Hold on. Aren't these cute? I have pizzas, burgers, and little sushi rolls, and they sit on they're knit toppers. So Balboa Park is a great place to go if you've never been there. It was originally made back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure. For the World's Fair. For the World's Fair. And someone's asking about the Noros. I will tell you that in a second. It was like 4 balls. Anyways, so at this Balboa Park, there is a place called the Japanese Friendship Garden that I have been once with a girlfriend, and the Brit has not been. And so I'm very excited to share this with him, but especially this week because the Japanese cherry blossoms are in bloom, and I am really, really excited. I've never seen the Japanese cherry blossoms in bloom. I've wanted to go to Washington, D.C. We're going to Japan in the summer, but they're not going to be in bloom. I've never seen them in bloom. And it's one of the few places, I think New York City has a spot. Anyways, so we're going to go today and see the cherry blossoms in bloom. And I'm very excited about that. So after we finish here, we are going to go to the Japanese Friendship Garden, and we're going to walk around, see the cherry blossoms, maybe do a Japanese tea service or lunch. So that's our date for today. I'm very excited. So I'm wearing this because it's a little overcast. It could possibly rain. I'm wearing this because it's a Noro yarn, which is a Japanese yarn. It's a granny square, so it's in type of granny square of National Crochet Month. It's all the things. It's all of the things. So thank you. Yes, I'm very excited about going. Arrow Lover says have fun. Yeah, they're gorgeous. And I'll maybe take some pictures and I'll probably post them on the post side of the website of the YouTube page. Because it just kind of, it's spring, and I feel like we need to get into spring. I need to finish this sweater, and then I'm ready to dive in. I have not done, here's what I wanted to talk to you all about. I have not done a granny square blanket, maybe ever. I did a temperature blanket a while back that was a Tony Lipsy blanket, but it was a moss square, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it wasn't a cross, it was a square. So it's not really a granny square, but they're fun and they're nostalgic. And there's so many really cool spring patterns. And Lion Brand sent an email out saying, are you starting your mood blanket, which is a new thing. It's similar to a temperature blanket. I don't know if you guys have seen those, but instead of it being the temperature outside, it's your mood. And I know Tony Lipsy is doing a mood blanket this year. So are you happy? Are you calm? Are you angry? I guess. And then depending on the colors that you choose for your moods, that's the colors that you use for the blanket. So I'm getting inspired by seeing all of these. And then, yes, thank you, Deidre. I'm very excited about, we do a lot of dates. We're kind of goofy. We're kind of romantic that way. That's what happens when you get married a second time. You don't take things for granted. And usually, and in our case, you don't have kids that you have to, struggle with. So our relationship is all about just hanging out, having fun, dating, doing our hobbies. And we've been together 24 years dating, married 6. Yeah, so it took him a little while, a little bit on the uptake. Anyways, so a lot of inspiration happening out there with Granny Squares. And then Elise Rose Crochet, she's one of my favorites. She did a video about 4 days ago about Granny Square blankets. And I thought, okay, You know, how many times does the universe have to like knock on your forehead and say, oi, this is what you should be doing for you to get the hint? And I thought, all right, it is time. So I want to start kind of a crochet along, because this has sort of become our virtual knit along, like our knitting circle, crochet circle. And I thought, well, that would be kind of fun to have somewhat of a theme, or not really an agenda, because I don't want it to be so structured, but like something that we're kind of all doing together. I thought, wouldn't that be fun? So, and I will post it all on the post page, or the post section tab of my YouTube page. I'm going to come up with some different patterns. Elise have, I think, like 16. And I'll come up with maybe 10 different patterns. And of course, you don't have to. I mean, you can do anything you want, right? Join us and go, yeah, I don't really want to do a granny square blanket, whatever. I'm going to do this instead. But I'm going to give you some inspiration, some ideas of granny square patterns, and then places you can buy the yarn or scrap. Like, I'm not about if you don't want to spend money. I have a lot of yarn. I don't need to go out and buy more yarn, even though more is coming. And just to kind of get some inspiration. So I brought some ideas, some inspiration, some patterns, some yarn that I'm going to be using. Hello. Hi, Rudy. Welcome. I am fine, thank you. How are you? I'm so glad that you found us. You were here on, I think, Saturday with us. So I'm doing great. I am, now that I have a, oh, and Zara, Miranda said hi. Hello. Now that I had these, I was laying in bed this morning with a cup of coffee, thinking, I gotta have some inspiration, and it just started flowing, and I was so excited to come and talk to you all today. I want to do, so it's going to be sort of like a virtual crochet along, and I'm going to give you guys inspiration on patterns. Here's just some ideas for patterns. You can choose one. You don't have to choose one. Here's some idea for yarns if you don't have the yarn that you need. And then we can do them together here every Tuesday. That's the idea. So that's what I'm going to do. And I would love if you all would join me in the idea. So let me show you. I'm going to put this aside for a second. Let me show you some of the ideas. I mean, I was going through my pattern books, right? Like, you got this, A Year of Granny Squares. I'm like, okay, but even that, and there's fantastic, I did a review on this book, lots and lots of really cool patterns. You know, so it could be something where you're like, I just want to do my own thing, and you just choose a bunch of different granny squares. Thank you. You're so sweet. You look so pretty. You look pretty. Thank you. Everyone should hear that every day. So it could be something like coming up with a bunch of granny squares. I think that I want something a little bit more structured. I'm going for a pattern. That's what I'm going to do for me. But if you have something that you love, then, you know, do it. This one here is the Granny Square Bible. This is a great book. This is from Search Press, and this had, so like, I don't know if I can do it this way. So many, kind of, you get the point. You get the picture. So many different kinds here. It's so many kinds. And I can include the link to these books too. I have all of my books that I review or that I have in my library on a place called bookshop.org. I like bookshop.org because they support independent booksellers across the country and even across the world. If you're in another country, yes, you're Arrow Lover, thank you. If you're in another country, you can go there. You can put in the country that you're from, the state that you're from, and all the money, like a percentage of what you purchase, and the books are at or below the cost of like Amazon or any retailers and things like that. But it's an alternative to buying books from Target or Amazon or anything like that. They're a little bit cheaper, but they support a percentage of what you spend goes to support independent booksellers. So you can actually choose, like if you have an independent bookseller in your neighborhood that you want to support, you can say, send percentage of this money to this particular bookseller. Or if you're like, I just want to support independent booksellers, then you goes into a pot and then they send. But it even tells you, there's like a ticker at the top of their page, their website page, that shows you how much money has been donated. And it's a lot. So all books that I recommend that I have in my bookshelf, I have on bookshop.org, and you can find them all there. That's my preference. That's where I go. Arrow Lover says, have you ever used the deck? And if so, which one do you think is best? It's so funny that you asked that. I do have the decks. I don't have the Granny Square deck. I have the Crochet Stitch deck. I don't have the Granny Square Bible, but, well, actually the deck is this guy, just in deck form. Okay, it's this book in deck form. I don't have that. They just sent me the book. But the decks are great. If you don't know what she's talking about, let me show you. Hold, please. Where did I put those little guys? Because I just have them out. Here we are. Okay. So the decks that Errol Love is talking about are kind of like these guys. This one is from Bella Coco. These are crochet stitches, and this is one of my favorites. This is Esme Crick, and she's fantastic. She's a British designer. She does amazing crochet, but these are crochet stitches. So when you're talking about the deck, basically you open it up, it looks like this, and then they have all of these different, and they're color coded depending on if you're doing like single crochet. What else do we have in here? Popcorn stitches, some more complex stitches, and it's almost like just a deck of cards, and you kind of shuffle them, and then you just pick out what you want. So Errol Lover's asking, what is my favorite? These are probably my favorite, the crochet stitch deck, because I love Esme Crick. I love her designs. And these cards are really, really well written. They're, let me see if I'll just show you one. If I can find it. So I like them because, let's just pull one out. So like this one here is a popcorn diamonds. So it shows you the stitch on the front. And then here on the back, it basically tells you how to do it. And they're just nice and easy. So rather than having to take a whole book with you, you just take a card. And that works out really, really well. And some of these, oh, I dropped it. Some of these have charts, I believe. But the Bella Cocos are also really nice. See, this one's called Surface Crochet. But again, these are stitches. I want to do something Granny Square. Granny Square. I did a lot of Granny Squares years before last when I was doing Project Welcome Home, but I didn't save them. I gave them to my residents over at the assisted living that you guys made the squares. So my preference is Esme Crick, but Bella Coco, a lot of people really love her cards. I'll show you these guys. So this, I don't know. I think for me, this is the Bella Coco. Oh, you guys like those. This is the linen moss, and the instructions are here on the back. I feel like and there's only, it looks like 2 different. So she has, they're color coded. I feel like the Esme Crick is a little bit more detailed. I think that's why I liked it more. I mean, this is, and I like the picture being a little bigger. This is Celtic Weave from Bella Coco, and then it's got the instructions here on the back. It's just personal preference. It's just, personal preference, whatever you like. So my preference is Esme Crick. I like chocolate. Some people like vanilla. I like sprinkles on my ice cream. It's that kind of a thing. But these are the decks, and they do have Granny Square Bible deck. If that's the route you want to go. Yeah, you know what? Decks are very cool, I have to say. And the decks are a big thing now. Like they're coming out with amigurumi decks. And so it's just, you don't have to carry the book around with you. If you're traveling, with your patterns, you just take the cards that you want and then you go that way. Fantastic. Here is another idea. This is Crochet Kaleidoscope. I just pulled books out of my library. This one here is super fun, and it's got a lot of different. So these are more, in the Granny Square or the motif style. But again, I want to have a pattern, just a blanket. I don't want to, I want to take the guesswork out of it for this purpose. Oh, Zariah. I'm going to say Zariah. I hope I said that all right. Bye-bye. Have a good day. These are great for inspiration, things like this. I just want to have something that's a little bit more like already done. So I'm going to come up with patterns that just inspiration patterns. And I'm thinking that the cherry blossoms, seeing them today, it's going to give me a lot of inspiration for a Granny Square pattern. And what I want to do is I want to start this. Okay, Arrow Lover says you'd rather have a pattern too. Okay, good. So It's not just me. I think it's just going to be easier, at least in this application. And I want to start this like early April. So we get back from Switzerland at the very, very end of March. We're going to be gone for like 2 weeks. I'll be posting stuff. I won't be doing a live. So I won't be here to do a live next Tuesday because I'll be in Switzerland. I don't think, because I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I don't know what the time's going to be like. I don't know what we're going to be doing. I don't know. So don't count on a live. If I make a post saying I'll be live, I will be there and I'll let you know. Anyways, but I will post the patterns, the ideas, the inspirations so that if you want to join, please do. And then we'll start it up like in early April, and that'll give you a chance to get together your supplies and, get the pattern if you want, or come up with your own pattern or whatever you want to do. And then we can do it together starting in April. I think I like that idea. I hope you guys do too. Yes, Errol Lover says, you can't wait to see pictures of Switzerland. There's going to be a lot of pictures for sure. For sure, there's going to be a lot of pictures. I think I mentioned the other day, at least on the Saturday show, y'all, usually my timing is impeccable. But apparently there is a Switzerland Yarn Festival, and it hasn't been going on that long because it's a small country and they haven't been doing it maybe 3 years or so. And it starts the 27th. Guess what day we're leaving to come home? The 27th. I'm going to miss and not only that, but it's apparently taking place at this old woolen mill, which sounds amazing. And it's 15 minutes from the Zurich airport. Do you want to know where we're flying out of? Zurich. So, oh, yay, Deidre, yay. I know. I'm really kind of hoping that the travel gods say, you don't need to be flying out today. You need to hang out. And actually, I was looking at the news last night. KLM which is the airlines that we're taking, they had a lot of flight delays because of weather and some other stuff, some operational stuff. So, and apparently it's going to be in the low 50s to mid 50s while we're there, chances of rain. And I did see some chances of snow in Switzerland. Can you only imagine? I'm very excited. I'm super excited about that because all I really want to do in Switzerland is eat chocolate. And I prefer that it's hot, like a hot chocolate, and hot cheese. I want to do fondue. I'm very excited about fondue. And I've been learning the proper way. There's a proper way you're supposed to do it, for culture, and so I'm very excited. And then white wine, which goes in the fondue, but you also drink it. So I'm excited about all of those things. So you guys will see a lot of pictures from that. Yeah, so I'm hoping that potentially the flight gets canceled or gets delayed or something like that, and I'm always kind of, when I go on vacation, tell me if this is you, like when the airline says, hey, we're offering you to, to bump your flight, going there, I'm like, no, don't you bump me. But on the way back, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And on this one, I'll be all about bump me. I don't care. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? I get waylaid in Switzerland. Worse things can happen. Trust me. I have been waylaid in worse places, friends. A lot worse places. So fingers crossed we get delayed on the way home and I get to go to the Switzerland Yarn Festival. Okay, just some other inspirations that got me thinking about this pattern idea. And again, I'm not going to offer this as an idea, but it's just inspiration. Janie Crowfoot, or Jane Crowfoot, depends on how you say it. She's also from England. She's got some gorgeous patterns. She is on the intermediate advanced level of crocheting. She does mostly blankets, a lot of flowers. My brother-in-law gave me this as a Christmas gift, and this whole thing is a pattern. This whole book is a pattern, and it's gorgeous. I think in my head, I'm thinking granny squares, I'm thinking spring, and so I'm thinking flowers, but I'm going to give you a bunch of different options, probably 10 different pattern options, whatever, and you get to choose what you like. I love this, but I don't know that I'm going to do it. This pattern book was maybe $10. It wasn't a lot, and everything is in this pattern, in this book. It's lovely. And she uses gorgeous yarns. I mean, look at that. She uses so many pretty yarns and pretty patterns and all that stuff. But maybe this is a little too elaborate, too detailed. So I may not go, I mean, maybe this will be one of them. Maybe you're adventurous. So I'll give you guys some different ideas of patterns, just straight up granny square, or some flowers. I'm really kind of feeling, yeah, I'm kind of getting the cherry blossom spring flower vibe. That's where my head is right now, but we'll see. And then the only other one I have, and this is actually not a granny square, but I've had this book forever. The Sophie's Universe. Have y'all seen this? I feel like the Yarn Addict was going to do this as a crochet along once, and then it didn't happen. I don't think it happened because I was waiting and I never saw it. This is also a pattern book. This is heavy duty. So I'm just looking at like maybe supporting an Etsy pattern writer or something along those lines. But this is my intention. This is my inspiration. So you're saying, yes, Deidre, I'm saying that this book is one project. This whole book is the pattern. And it's heavy, y'all. It's like you could totally do, arm exercises, curls with this book. It's heavy. Yeah. Yeah. So this and this is a whole pattern. This is a little bit more manageable than this, but yeah. That's what people do. I know you can find those on Amazon, but I think they're also on bookshelf.org. Pretty much anything you can find on Amazon, you can find on Bookshelf. But Janie Crow, I like because she does, this was inspired by England. It's not, okay, this to me, because I've been to England a lot, as you know, the Brit is from, the Brit. And so I look at this and it reminds me a lot of Georgian buildings. And when I think Georgian buildings from the Georgian era, I think Bath, I think Bridgerton. So it's kind of that area. That is not where she's from, I don't believe. I mean, but like, look, how beautiful is that? Isn't that gorgeous? Again, this might be a little bit more advanced, but maybe not terribly. Look, and her things are absolutely beautiful when they're all done. Just beautiful. She has another one. It's called the Persian Lanterns, I think it is. Maybe you guys have heard of that one. She has a lot of gorgeous, gorgeous patterns that you can. Anyways, so this was my inspiration. That was my inspiration. This yarn has been sitting in my stash for the longest time. And this was also part of my inspiration. I just want to do something with these. They're from Lions Brand. They're mandalas. They're their ombre. I don't remember why or where I got these. Could have been a Michaels thing. Could have been whatever. But I love the colors. And I want to use them together in something. It might just be like a moss stitch blanket where I just graduate the colors. I don't know. I just think they're super cool. So, and I'm not saying it's going to be this, but it could be. It could be something like this in colors. So this kind of been giving me some inspiration, and it's been sitting in my stash on the top. So every time I go in my stash, it stares at me and it's like, what are you going to do with me? So this is giving me inspiration, but hold on. Wait, there's more. Y'all will crack up at this. This is my real inspiration here. Okay. Now this is only part of my stash. Only part. And like, yeah, I mean, it would be a really great thing if this was my stash. I must admit, I'm really just starting to like granny squares. I've never used to like them. Deidre, yes, I know, me too. Me too. I think the thing that I don't like the most is the joining, but, oops, sorry, that made the thing rock. But there are some join as you go techniques. And so I'll maybe do some tutorials on that on my channel. So you can do that if you want to. I'm going to open up my stash here and show you my thing. This is what's inspiring me, you guys. And if I don't make myself accountable to you all by doing this, then this yarn is going to be sitting here next year like this. This yarn has been sitting here like this for years. I'm probably, this is all Sheepy's yarn. I think I got it, I might have got it from Love Crafts. I might have got it, I don't remember where, but it all obviously goes together. All these colors. Aren't they pretty? I have a hard time choosing the colors. I know, me too, Deidre. That's why I'm thinking I kind of want to take out the guesswork. That's how I work best, right? So I got a pattern, I got the colors. These all go together, and these to me need to be in a blanket. They just need to be in a blanket. So I'm probably going to use this yarn. Probably. This yarn, I think, would have worked for the Sophie blanket, this guy. I think this was my intention to use that yarn for this guy here. Hello, so you're back. Soraya Miranda, hello, you're back. This, by the way, is what that blanket looks like. So it's not a granny square. It's kind of like a as you go, which is, it's great as a crochet along, which is what that was. So each week you get a different part of the pattern, the ba 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 ba, and then, you know, like the next week you move on. So it could be that as well. But it probably isn't going to be for this application. But so I might be using this yarn here. Like I said, I'm not planning on buying any yarn for this. This is from my own stash that I need to go through. And the other part of my stash, this was a little on the crazy side. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I thought there was more of that sheep yarn. There's more. Oh my gosh, you guys, welcome to my crazy world. I knew there was more. Now do you understand why I need to use this yarn for a blanket? Yeah, I need to use this yarn for a blanket. All right, Arrow Lover, I'm so glad to hear you have plenty of stash too. So as I'm looking at it, this is most likely where my granny square inspiration is coming from. This, y'all, I need your help to work through this. Yeah. All right, so this is what I'm going to be doing. Exactly. Pretty colors for the Sophie blanket. Yes, Deidre, exactly. But so it is a great thing for the Sophie blanket. And maybe I could do it. I mean, it is a crochet along. It is something we could do together. If somebody is completely adverse to making granny squares, totally get it. And there is no join. There's no joining with this. And it's very pretty. So it could be one of this or the Janie Crowfoot blooms. Could be. Maybe I'll do a couple of these so you guys can have an option, or the granny squares. I don't want to have too many choices. I just want something that we can all do together, and so that you're accountable, because I know me, if I don't have, you know, like a sweater that I have to finish for Switzerland that we're leaving in 2 days, or, you know, like, hey, I'm going to be doing this while I'm on the air because they're waiting for me, then it's not going to get done. This yarn has been sitting here for years. This yarn is older than some kids that are like that were born and they're now like in kindergarten or second grade. That's how old this yarn is. And that just cannot be happening. Granny squares are fun. I've made beanies, baby sweater, and fanny pack blankets. Will be so much fun. Yes. Okay, Arrow Lover, she's on board. She's on board. You guys be on board. And the thing is, even if you're not here for the actual live, then you can join us for the replay and you can still be a part of it. And here's the other kicker. Hold, please. This coffee is making me like come up with better ideas. Here's what I thought would be really fun, because you can't share photos live, but if you email me your photos, then I can post them. We can do a whole post page with the granny square so we can see each other's progress, and I'll just put it on the post page. Isn't that fun? Very excited. And I can even maybe do a video. But anyways, this is the thought that I had starting at about 6 o'clock this morning. Thanks to Elise Rose Crochet. Love her. I'm sure you guys know about her channel. If not, you should. Okay. So Deidre says, what helps me is buying yarn kits. It takes the guesswork out of me having to choose colors. I agree. I completely agree. The Janie Crowfoot Persian tiles, I actually have their kit and it's up there. And you know what? That yarn, I'm pointing to my closet that you don't see. It's back there. That yarn is older than this sheepies yarn. That yarn is probably in high school, maybe even going into college, looking at colleges right now. That's how old that yarn is. But the kit idea, I did start that as well. See, it's all right here. Annie's. I did this, and this it's called the floating lanterns. And I got this whole kit, and then see where it is? See, it's still in the bags. So the more that I think about this, you guys, it's a brilliant idea. It's a brilliant idea to do this crochet along here on this channel, doing it during the lives. But this was a real pretty thing. It came from Annie's Crochet, and it's called the Floating Lanterns Afghan. And each month you got the kit that had the yarns. So getting back to you, Deidre, you don't have to choose anything. You don't have to go through anything. And if that's something you guys want to do, I'd be happy to post like a kit here. So all these different options. Oh, okay. Deidre says, I love Persian tiles. So Deidre, do you love the Persian tiles, or do you love the Persian tiles pattern? Because that's actually beautiful. That's really pretty. Okay. And then the last one, these are some other yarns that I bought. Y'all. Okay. This guy here, these all came from We Crochet. And this is called palette yarn. And these colors are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. As a matter of fact, I think next month they're going to be highlighting these colors, and it's called palette. And these yarns it's all fingering weight. And these are all 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And I featured this on my channel. I know. I featured this on my channel about a couple of months ago. All these different colors. Now, the best way for me to show you just how really insane Kimberly is to show you, this is my collection of palette yarns. It's like this. It's all in here. See that? It's all... It's all in here. So starting in April, we're going to be making the blanket, y'all. This pattern is not a granny square, but I love this guy, Mark, aka the guy with the hook. Have you seen his stuff? I actually have one of his books. I'll show you here in a second. But he just recently came out with this pattern, and he used palette for this. So this could be beautiful. Lovely bag. Oh, thank you. I don't know. I think Amazon, like a sweater bag kind of a thing. So this guy, okay, so he uses either the sheep's stone washed, which was the stuff I had here. These guys. He uses that for this yarn. Or I think he also used the palette yarn, this guy here. And this is kind of a crochet along as well. So maybe what I'll do, I'll include this guy's pattern as well. And let me see if I can, it's really pretty. And so what he did was the guy with the hook, he travels. And if you can see this is all the different, let me see if I can remember exactly. Okay, I'm just going to read it. It's a mosaic crochet blanket that came to him after his many travels around the world, and all the churches he went into and all of the stained glass windows that he saw, he brought those patterns into this blanket. This is, I believe, yes. Okay. He says, besides, you often find very ancient art and details in buildings like these, although there are many famous ones like Notre Dame in Paris, the Sagrada Familia in Spain, and Vatican City. They all share similar connections, and some of them he has tried to capture in the blanket. Yes. Okay. So this guy here is like all the different stained glass inspirations that he found in Europe. That's what this blanket is based on. It's gorgeous, right? Okay, y'all, I'm finding my inspiration already. So you can choose whatever you want. I will post a link to this pattern because I'm thinking I really wanted to do it. And yeah, so this is going to be either an idea or yeah, and you all just do. So I kind of got off the flower thing, I see, but that's okay. That's all right. The other, hold on one second. I'm looking over here because I have his book, Knitting Travel. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Can you post both those yarns too? Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to post all of it in the link, and they're easy to get to. And I'm going to just say that We Crochet sent an email out to me ahead of time, not just to me, but to some people that have YouTube channels, that they're going to be doing a special. They're going to be doing a promotion on this palette yarn in April. Now, what does that mean? To me, that means it's probably going to go on sale, which is a bummer because I just bought it all at full price, but that's okay. But this yarn is gorgeous. I'll show you in just a second. Hold on here. Hang on. Oh, man. Don't go anywhere. I'm still here. Hold on. Phooey. Okay, I'm not finding it, and I just saw it, so like as soon as I finish this, I'll find it. But the guy that did this, Mark, the guy with the hook, has a whole book, crochet, and it's called like Crochet Journeys or something like that. And so it's but it's more just different projects. It's not just blankets, but it's when he went to Morocco and all these different things, and they were all inspired by his travels. So I will post a link to that pattern as well. I'll include all the links for this so you guys can find it on the post tab. But I do love his stuff, and I'm thinking that it's probably going to be this pattern, or maybe, like this Janie Crow. This is a really pretty one. I'll come up with some ideas. But I think it'd be fun. I think you guys are on board. So yay. And we can just do it together. So when I'm sitting here with you every Tuesday, I'll be working on my blanket, and then you all can email in pictures of what you're doing, even if it's not one of the patterns that we're doing here. And then we'll post projects, and then we'll do it together, and we will be accountable to each other. I think that's a wonderful idea. Don't you? Good. All right. So that's my idea. That's what I was doing at like 5, 6 o'clock this morning, thinking about what I was going to talk about today. As you know, it's not hard for me to find things to talk about, because the Brit said, you just went on for like an hour. What did you talk about? I was like, I don't know. We just talked. We just did. But I think it would be nice to have a little bit of a inspiration. So I'll include the link for this yarns here. These are lovely. And again, and if you want to have a pattern with a kit, everything included, I'll include one of those as well. Just for inspiration. Okay, so I'm putting that away for right now. All right, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. What are you all working on? Can you do this? Can you join me in April for just like a inspirational crochet along? Do your own thing. That would be fun. That would be really fun. Yep. Okay. Oops, my hooks just fell over. And you should have the hooks. That should be easy. I'll include the link if you guys want to know the We Crochet hooks. I'm like my go-tos. I really like them. But that's not to say that I probably, BOD has beautiful blanket kits too. BOD. Hold on, let me think about this. Oh, of course, Bag a Day. Yeah, I got that. Arrow Lover has beautiful blanket kits too. Okay, cool. I will check out Crystal's page, and maybe I'll include a link there so you guys can go find your own thing. And maybe you're like me and you've got a big old bag of yarn, whether it's scraps or whatever, or a pattern that you've been sitting on for a long time, and you're like, just need inspiration to do this, friends. Well, then here it is. Here's your inspiration. Because I plan on being here every Tuesday working with you, and it would be nice if we were like kind of working on stuff together. That's my idea. What was I saying? I was just saying something. I forgot it. It just flew right out of my head. Don't you hate it when that happens? What are you all working on? I just want to finish this doggone sweater. That's all. Yes, she does. Oh, Deidre and Arrow Lover are agreeing with each other. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, we're just having fun doing our thing. So I plan on being here every Tuesday. Seems to be working out. I did the Saturday mostly because Oh, it was killing me trying to figure out the YouTube thing. It actually worked out today. So the Saturday was more of it was kind of a test for me to see if it was going to work. Um, and it kind of did with a few little glitches. So now hopefully we've gotten through the glitches. But we'll be doing every Tuesday. That seems to work. Somebody said, you should do this twice a week. We had a lot of fun on Saturday. We really did. And there's a lot of people I know that can't show up during the week because, they're working and whatever. But you can always just do the replay. That's totally fine. Saturdays, I just feel like are kind of busy for people. I mean, if you are working outside the home or doing your thing, then Saturdays, if you're anything like I was, Saturdays are your day to run errands and run out to Trader Joe's and do all the things. So maybe that's not your best. Hang on, I have to just think this one through. I'm doing a slip knit and purl. Hold please. There we go. And so maybe it's not the best time for you to to do a live. So that's why I kind of thought Tuesdays are good, but you can always do the replay. All right. Gosh, and see, before you know it, an hour is gone. I am so tickled about doing this knit along because it's going to be fun. And I need to have some inspiration that I can do, every Tuesday with you. And like I said, it very well might be a flower pattern. Who knows? Maybe I'll be doing 2 at the same time. I could probably do that. I could probably do 2 at the same time. Yeah. And I'll have my Noro yarn Ruana finished, but I'm so close to this one to finishing it that I just have to finish it. By the way, if you're interested in learning how to knit or tutorials and things like that, Pearl Soho, I really dig them. They do the best tutorials. I mean, it feels kind of highbrow, and knitting can sometimes be a little intimidating. If you've never knitted before, you're like, I don't know. I really feel like Pearl Soho brings it down to a beginner level. I mean, it can be very advanced, but it really takes it to like, hey, I've never done this before. I don't know what I'm doing. And they're like, yep, here, let me show you. I bought one of their kits once, and they have beautiful yarns, really nice premier yarns. And it was, you bought the kit and it taught you how to knit, and it was a seed stitch. And I ended up doing like a cowl, and it was beautiful. And even though I kind of knew how to knit, I'm like, let's just take it back down to the basics. And so this is a raglan sweater, and they say it's a beginner pattern, even though they are doing some short rows, which isn't necessarily beginner. And it kind of made my head swivel a little bit. When I was attaching the sleeves, I'm going to show you, it wasn't difficult to do. I just had to kind of figure out what I was doing. But they have these great YouTube tutorial videos that you can just go and find. And it was super simple. So to attach the sleeve, basically you have these 2 parts. So this part right here is bound off. Well, it's on another set of needles. It's on a pin rather, like this guy. Oops, hold on. It's on this, right? So those stitches are on here. And then you do the same on the sleeve. And what you do is you just match these up like so, and then you just start knitting the sleeve on. So the under part down here is on pins, and then you make those parallel, and then you just knit, and it goes all the way around, and then that's how you get the sleeve on. And then once that's on, then you just start kind of going all the way around like so. And then I'm doing it's a way to decrease the stitches, but it gives you a cool little, like a ribbon. I don't know if this is probably a better one to show you here. Like the ribbing is seam right here, like this little seam. That there shows you, it decreases the stitches, but it gives you that really cool like sweater seam here. And so that's what I'm doing here. I've got another maybe 10 rows of that to do. And then when you're all done, then you just do in like a Kitchener or a mattress stitch to sew these 2 together like that. It's actually really simple. They break it down, and it's really doable. I like watching tutorials by Chandy from Expression Fiber Arts. I love her too. Chandy from Expression, I have a couple of her patterns, and I actually haven't done her patterns yet, but I bought them. I love her stuff. It's really, and she does some crochet as well, But yeah, she's got some, so you know what? You find what works for you and then just go for it. I just like Pearl Soho because um they have beautiful, beautiful yarns. They just had a sale on their yarns. So more yarn might be coming. I know. I have this yarn and I have that yarn over there. I have this yarn here. And I have more yarn coming. You guys have to help me get through my yarn. You have to help me get through my yarn by doing a blanket together with me. So because it is March, it is also St. Patrick's Day, and Katia Yarns was doing a whole sale on green yarn. And the other day I wore a green sweater and everybody was like, you need to wear more green. That color is gorgeous on you. And I was like, oh, thanks. I'd never worn a green sweater before. But I really liked it. So then I saw green coming through and I thought, looks like I need to be buying some green yarn. So I might have done that. And then Pearl Soho is doing a spring clean out, and they have this yarn called Pure Linen Quill. And they had a minis kit, and that was like 40% off. So I might have bought that, maybe. And then they had these gradient yarns that were in like pinks and purples and greens. And it starts from a very, very, very pale green all the way down to a dark green. And the purples and the pinks, and they had the other ones as well. But those three colors were on sale. It was pink and a purple and the green. It was called Green Apple. So I might have bought that. I don't know. All of a sudden I'm in a green kick. So that's coming. Got a lot of yarn. But I'm really excited about getting rid of this yarn here. That's going to be my goal. Yeah, Deidre says I'm going to check out Pearl Soho. Yeah, for sure. I'll include, the links as best I can in the live chats, but I'll put them in the post as well. But when you get their yarns on sale, because Katia and Pearl Soho, their yarns can be a little bit pricier just because they're, your wools, your cashmeres, your baby alpacas, the nice stuff. When you should be nice to yourself, you all should be nice to yourself, that's where I go. So those are the yarns that I pretty much do for myself. Lion Brand is probably, Lion Brand, Premier, and Yarn Inspirations are my go-to for my mass market yarns. And then We Crochet. We Crochet is great because they do mass market and they have like your acrylics, but then they also have the higher end stuff. So I love them as well. And even like We Crochet, their sister brand is Knit Picks, and then also Jimmy Bean's Wool and Madeline Tosh. And Connecting Threads, I think, is when they do, which is more like embroidery and things. But those are the big ones: Madeline Tosh, Jimmy Bean's Wools, and hold on, I can't talk and knit at the same time. I got to do another decrease. Hold, please. Hold on just a second. I just lost that stitch. Okay, so I am doing knitting two together and then knitting one. That's it. Okay. But yeah, so We Crochet, Knit Picks, Jimmy Bean's Wool, Madeline Tosh are all owned by the same company. So they all have the sales pretty much the same, different things like that. It's just kind of, like you have your favorite brands that you go to, but We Crochet oftentimes will sell like Lion Brand yarn on their website. And then of course Premier, they have all the really good yarns, definitely more of the mass market, but they do have some wools and they have some cashmere blends and different things like that. And they're now also carrying the Arroyo, no, hold on, what are they called? They're carrying, it just flew out of my head. What is, you guys know what it is? Hold on. These guys, they are carrying, oh, the tag wasn't on the Malabrigo. Premier is carrying Malabrigo yarns. Beautiful. I love Malabrigo yarns. I won't use that in a blanket because that's too nice. I wear it for myself pretty much. So anyways, well, there you go, guys. So that's kind of what is in my head. So now that I know you all are on board game, I'll do the research and I will put a post on the page with some pattern ideas, and then we can plan on getting started like maybe the first week of April and getting started on a pattern. You can just, comment, let me know what pattern you're choosing, what yarns you're choosing. We can do it in the post tab, and then we can be off and running in April. What do they say? April showers, spring flowers, May flowers, something along that. I think it's just a perfect time to get started on a really pretty spring or light-ish blanket. Um, I'm so excited. Y'all have to say, as we're closing out today, because it's already an hour, y'all just make me so happy. You doing this, who would have thunk it? This was the Brits' idea to start with, to even start a YouTube channel and travel. It was not my idea. But showing up for you all every week and now doing the lives where we can actually engage in authentic ways and in real time makes me so happy. You guys just have no idea how exciting this is for me. And having my own little virtual knitting circle. I don't like to go somewhere and do a knitting circle. I had one before and I'm like, it became too much like hard work. This is not like hard work. And we can be virtual. We can be anywhere. We got people from, I've had people from Colombia. I had somebody the other day from, oh my gosh, y'all, where was she from? Somewhere in Europe. I don't remember, but somewhere like in Germany or Austria. She was from Austria. That's what it was. How fun is that? I just, it's super great. It's super fun. So anyways, that's what we're going to be doing. All right. Well, that's it for now for me. You'll be hearing more on the post page. And the next time you see me live, might just be from Switzerland, not Australia. Wrong continent, people. Don't send me that way. I'll never get home. All right. Thank you for watching. I will see you all very, very soon. Take care.